Hi guys, I'm Tracy. Thank you for joining me today. So in today's video, I'm going to be showing you all of the brushes that I use for highlighter. So these aren't necessarily all of my highlighter brushes. They're just brushes that I use to apply my highlighter. So you don't need to get a brush that is specifically called a highlighting brush. You can use all different types of brushes, and I'll explain that shortly when I talk about all the different types of brushes I use for highlighter. So you just have to, figure out what kind of look you like. Do you like a very strong highlighter look? Do you have a barely there highlighter look? Do you like to highlight bigger areas? Things like that. And hopefully these different types of brushes I want to talk about will help you guys pick the best brush or utilize what you already have. So I separated them into 4 different types of brushes. The first are going to be like the little mini brushes that are more like concentrated and cover a small area. Then the tapered, like kind of candle flame shape brushes. And so those I use also as a blush and under eye powdering brush. Also the flat pinched brushes like the Goss Airbrush. And then the last one are going to be like the larger brushes that you use to like cover like a big area in a lighter way. So let's start out with the mini ones first. So these 3 are what I consider the mini highlighting brushes. So right here is the Hakuhodo G511. The middle one is the Sonia G Mini Cheek, and then the little one right here is the Sonia G Detail Pro. Now I have B-roll of these 2, which is, I use these pretty regularly for highlighter. I do recommend, because I prefer this shape, like a rounder shape versus an angled, I do like the Sonia G Mini Cheek a little bit more than the Hakuhodo. This is also cheaper, and this is goat and squirrel hair, and the mini cheek is dyed and undyed goat hair. So they look pretty similar, and I think density is pretty much, equal. It's just a matter of, do you like an angled one or a flat one? So they're both great, and they both do a fairly concentrated application. I have B-roll on these 2, so I'll show you guys exactly how those turn out. But if you're someone that likes a very specific, kind of like a stronger highlight, then I think the Detail Pro is the best one for that. It's not my preference for how I like to wear my highlighter, so I don't use this one a whole lot. Okay, so now I'm going to talk about the tapered, the mini tapered brushes that I use. And this, I just have 2 of them, and these are 2 of my favorite brushes. They're, as far as the size and the shape, they're pretty much identical. But the one right here is the Hakuhodo G5521, and then right next to it is the Hakuhodo CHHC, which I highly recommend. It's I think it's now like $28 on CD Japan. So you get, this one is much less expensive, and I think they perform very similarly. The Hakuhodo is softer because it has the squirrel hair, but these are brushes that are very versatile, because I use both of these to do under eye powdering because of the shape, but they're also very good at highlighter. And I would say it provides kind of like a medium application, not super strong, but you can build it up to give yourself a stronger highlighter look. And then if you want it more specific, it's got that point, so you can use it like this as well and get similar results as the little minis that I talked about. So I do think, as far as versatility, if you don't have much of a collection, I would say these are maybe a little bit more useful, because you can use them for different things, under eye powdering, blush, and highlighter. So I highly recommend both of these, but I know a lot of you have gotten this Hakuhodo. It's such a great deal. It's just a solid brush. I don't think this is shed on me yet, so I like both of them, but you know, if you're trying to not spend as much, I think this one is performs just as well. Now I'm going to talk about the flat or pinched shape highlighting brushes. So, and one is the very well-known Goss Airbrush, and I'm pretty sure I've demoed this, but also this is also very versatile in that you can do under eye powdering. Then you can do highlighter like this and give a little bit of a more natural highlighter look, or you can turn it with the point and do a more specific concentrated highlighting look. But because this is really silky blue squirrel hair, it will allow you to do a very, very subtle light application. I think that's what makes it very good for powdering. So if you're someone that just likes a barely there highlighter, the airbrush is a really great choice. And the same for the Sonia G Designer Pro. Really good for under eye powdering, but also really good for a natural highlighter look. I use this a lot for highlighter. And then the other two that I use, but these are kind of new, so I'm still kind of figuring out the best use for these. But this is the Hakuhodo G5545, and it's pretty big. I think this is probably better for blush, but because it's got that tapered shape, you can use it very easily for highlighter. Or if you want to cover a bigger area, you can use it like this as well, and do like over here, also right here. So I think this one is really good for highlighter. And the Hakuhodo S113, I like it for highlighter, but because of the shape, it's very similar to the Goss airbrush. I am finding myself using it for targeted powdering more. But again, this shape is ideal for highlighting either in a small area or in a more medium area. And let me demo. I'm gonna demo this one with highlighter, show you how I would use a bigger brush like this. So for me, because I like a more subtle highlighter application, I'm going to apply the highlighter on one side, like right there. And if you watch Natasha Denona do her tutorials, she picks a brush like this and she kind of does this. She covers a pretty big area. She's really big on really highlighting this whole part of the face. And I love that, and I love her highlighters as well. This is the Hourglass, but it's this is a really nice kind of medium application, but also subtle, covers a big area at once. If you want to do like a kind of give your forehead that really natural, like you're just worked out type of look, I think this is a good one for that. And it's also very good because of the point to do like specific areas like this. So I like them all. This is the only one, this little Hakuhodo is the only one that I'm not quite sure the best use for this yet, but it works just as well as anything for highlighter. Okay, now the last group are these aren't necessarily larger. These are I'll just show you. I don't know why consider these the largest when the other one was larger, but this and I'm sorry, the middle one is a Goss 2, which I don't believe is going to be available anymore, which is this one. I really like this shape for highlighter, but yeah, I don't like talking about things that you can no longer get. But this one is the Hakuhodo Z4, which I believe is a highlighter brush, and then this one is the Hakuhodo BH2, and this is what they look like. I use these similarly to how I use the last Hakuhodo brush, and I'll show you guys. I actually been really liking the Z4 for highlighter because it gives such a natural light highlighter look, and I have highlighter on, so you're probably not going to be able to see this a whole lot, but this is how I use this one for highlighter. So it's hard to overdo it with this brush because the hair is this gray squirrel hair. These are so gentle on your skin. I think if you're just beginning with highlighter, this would be a really good one. This one as well. And I use this one kind of like this. So it depends on, you know, where you put your highlighter, how you want your highlighter to look. But either one of these are great. I also really like the Z4 for under eye powdering. That's kind of like a newer use that I've been finding with this one, but either one will be, you know, great for highlighter. And I think that's pretty much it. I have other brushes that here and there I use for highlighter. Some people like using an itty bitty, like large, like the Goss 3. If you want a very, very small area, you can use like a big eye brush like this. I just prefer not to do my highlighter like that, but yeah, that's another option. Something you might already have in your collection as well. So that's all I had for today. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you all next time. Bye.